everyone, welcome or welcome back to UC Aquatics. Today is part 2 of the BETTA breeding series. In the last video I showed you guys the spawning process and the pairs that I had. And in today's video I'm going to show you the first few days of the fry, how they develop, basically their super tiny tummies full of baby brine shrimp. And yeah, if you're interested in that, just stick along. So this is basically day 1, and in day 1 you can see the betta actually made like a pretty big bubble nest, and you can see the babies actually hatched, which is super exciting. He had his fins full of work to do basically, and he was constantly trying to like put the babies that fell down in his mouth and spit them back like in the bubble nest basically. And he had a lot of babies to take care of. There were so many. You can see that actually a teeny tiny piece of the plant made its way under the bubble nest. I didn't really want to remove it. It did make it harder to film the video, but because the focus just went in and out, which was crazy. But you can see that he's super busy, and in the end, I mean, the plant didn't really do any harm, so I just left it there. And here, because I'm super paranoid, I'm actually putting an ammonia reducing pad because the filter, like the water level, wasn't high enough at this point to cover the whole entire sponge filter. So I just placed it there because, again, I'm pretty paranoid about the whole entire like water quality. And this is actually nighttime. You can see that he again built the bubble nest huge, and he was working 24/7 literally the entire time. So this is a footage, and I thought it was super funny because you can actually see the baby swimming up, and I just love that footage. It was pretty cool. The next day he built, the whole surface was completely covered in bubbles, so he was definitely an overachiever, which was crazy. He was definitely a pretty good father, and he took care of these babies crazily. Like, he was so precise in everything, and he just was, like I said, in general, a complete overachiever. So the whole entire surface was basically covered in bubbles. Crazy. I really like that the babies basically stuck to the side because it was super interesting to watch them. And now you can actually see that the babies are having more of a brownish color from as the day before they were more whitish. So that was pretty interesting to me to see the color change, and it was pretty cool again to just see him like just spit the babies in the bubble nest, and it was just super entertaining, and I was sitting in front of it for hours. It was crazy. After the time that the babies actually became free swimming, which was day 3, I removed the male and put him in his very well earned basically retirement and just calm down tank. And I did pick some of the top floaters. I think it's dwarf water lettuce. I picked it out as kind of like a hiding space where the babies can like hide under. And I thought this was just a pretty good way of also introducing infusoria, and I think it's called infusoria. I think it is. Basically, I just plopped it in and just like let it spread out. And as you can see, I already removed the bubbles. And I did increase the water volume basically like just 3 inches, I don't know, by basically dripping aged and dechlorinated water into the tank at a very slow rate. And that ensured, again, the water quality. And as you can see now, the sponge filter is actually completely covered. So the bubbles are able to reach the surface, and it create the basically like surface tension. I had pretty big troubles with my brine shrimp hatchery because my brine shrimp hatchery didn't work. So I had tried to basically hatch the baby brine shrimp for days. Good thing I had microworms I got from a swap basically, and this was what they were feeding off basically the first 4 days, which was completely fine. But optimally, you do want to feed them baby brine shrimp because this will just boost their growth a little bit more. And once I actually introduced the baby brine shrimp, I noticed that they were growing definitely rapidly, and this was definitely a good thing. And a little bit of a like stepping stone that I had to basically jump over because I was not prepared enough. This is definitely a note for a next breeding project. Prepare your baby brine shrimp in advance, or at least check if the baby brine shrimp eggs are that like good and they will hatch. So, well, that's definitely something to learn. In these clips, you're actually going to see that the babies have different coloration, which I think is pretty interesting. Some of them were more whitish, some were literally like the brownish color, some had like little stripes on their eyes, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I do know that now, because obviously this was filmed months and months ago, so I know what the adult babies already look like, and this is also why I'm feeling more comfortable sharing the whole process with you guys, because I know that they're good babies in the end of it. So I thought it was pretty interesting to see the colors being so different, but I thought it would also make sense because one of the parents was it was like a pure white female. And here you can see, finally I got the brine shrimp hatchery to work. You do have to be cautious to not overfeed them baby brine shrimp, because that can actually press on their swim bladder and basically have problems later on. But I did get to manage to have, literally in the adult fish, I have not a single fish that has any swim bladder problems. So I think feeding it like 3 times a day, just a small amount of baby brine shrimp, just did the trick. So that was pretty good. And I am now looking back, because I already know what the like adult bettas look like, and having them basically in front of me and now ready to sell. Now looking back on the footage of the baby bettas, it's crazy, and it just like sparks a new joy in me that I kind of like completely forgot. Kind of want to breed bettas again, but I think I'm just gonna take a break after this one. But this is definitely after a few days, and this is the update. In part 3, I'm going to show you a water change and the overall growth. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely see you in the next one. If you're interested in this whole entire series, just stick along and I'll just bring you more and more until you actually can see the final bettas as they're completely grown up. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and one thing, we're actually going to be at the Fins and Feathers Fest here in Illinois, and we're going to bring all the baby bettas that are now beautiful grown-ups, or actually juveniles, and we're going to bring the males and the females. I do have the males listed with pictures on my website over here, so if you want, you can just click it, or I'm going to put the link in the description down this video. So if you want, you can just shoot me an email and reserve the male that you would like to pick up on the 24th at the Fins and Feathers Fest. So we're excited because I know a few of you guys actually that subscribed to this channel were originally people that we met, me and my husband, at the Fins and Feathers Fest. So this is super cool. And again, thank you so much for the support that you showed this channel. And yeah, we're super excited to see you again. And again, see you. Bye.